Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Dan from the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about Monday Night Raw. That's right, guys. I am here once again to lay the smackdown on Monday Night Raw. So let's get straight into the show. So on this episode of Raw, Charlotte Flair attacked a referee. She has been fined and suspended indefinitely from WWE. There were two shock unmaskings as well as dissension between the women's tag team champions. So going into, I guess, the main story of this show, Charlotte Flair has been fined $100,000 and indefinitely suspended after attacking referee Eddie Orengo on Raw. This obviously followed the match between Charlotte and Asuka. Obviously, Rhea Ripley costing her that match, and then obviously Asuka beat her, and then Charlotte just went into one for the on the referee for it was like flipping heck, like she proper gave this ref a battering. But you know, it's I'm guessing it's probably a way to write her off TV for a while. So maybe she's not actually in the title picture potentially for Backlash, but she may be in the title picture maybe beyond that. So it could be a way even for it to get her off of Raw potentially and move her over to SmackDown or to NXT. You know, we obviously don't know much about that, but one thing we do know for WrestleMania Backlash is the main event, which has been confirmed as Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Now, Drew McIntyre came out, he cut quite an impassioned promo at the start of Raw this week. Obviously mentioning a bit about what happened last week with MVP and what happened with Mace and T-Bar, the former guys from Retribution. They are essentially looking like they're all aligned now. So I'm going to, for the purposes of this, I'm going to call them the Retribution business. There we go. You can nick it if you want. But yeah, so Mace and T-Bar are the two men that were unmasked on Raw. In a change, obviously, to advertise matches, it was supposed to be Braun Strowman versus Randy Orton in a first-time ever match. Braun Strowman actually came out to help Drew McIntyre and essentially team with Drew McIntyre. And they faced off against Mace and T-Bar. They ripped the masks off of them, started slapping them across their faces, which was hilarious. And yeah, it was obviously we already knew who the guys were, but it was nice to see that, you know, realism, as I guess, you know, the masks were not that good. So it'd be interesting now to see whether they do go back to being just regular Dio Madden and Dominik Dijakovic, whether they're going to wear the suits, whether they're just going to be Retribution guys in the Hurt Business, or whether they're just going to be hired help for the Hurt Business. Who knows? You know, I guess only time is going to tell. And on the subject of the change to the scheduled matches, obviously, I just mentioned Braun Strowman was supposed to face off against Randy Orton. Apparently, so Vince actually got to the show quite late and just essentially did the Vince thing, ripped up the script, was like, yeah, that ain't happening. In the end, he went on and made a match between Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. So yeah, this is obviously quite a big deal really for Riddle, because he got a win over a 14-time world champion. It was a really interesting decision to have him win this. And I was really shocked that Riddle actually won this match, and obviously playing the gimmick that he's playing, having just obviously lost the United States Championship as well. And talking of United States Championship, so Sheamus was in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, and Pearce was mentioning about previous United States champions, specifically about like John Cena when he used to do the open challenge for the US title. And Sheamus was saying that was maybe something he would consider doing. But he came out to the ring to seemingly issue an open challenge, and Humberto Carrillo came out. And before the match could even start, Sheamus just beat the heck out of him. And it makes you wonder, is this going to be a regular thing now? Obviously, Sheamus just attacking people that come down and challenge him. One interesting one, obviously, what's quite topical at the moment was the commentators actually did say they heard Humberto Carrillo was a fan of the new European Super League, hence Sheamus attacking him. Obviously, Sheamus being a big Liverpool fan, so good tea. Let's see. So Riddle is flavor of the month for WWE at the moment, it seems. Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right there, Scott, actually. It does seem... I think Vince likes those kind of like funny gimmicks. I mean, I know you look at R-Truth, Vince loves R-Truth. And, obviously Riddle was saying about potentially starting a team with Orton, RK Bro. Orton was just like, nah, I'm not doing it. And I think he probably just saw him going on the scooter and was just like, yeah, you know what? That would be good. Let's just roll with it kind of thing. And yeah, for some reason, I mean, I guess they've got to get away from the personal stuff with Riddle and obviously the 420 type stuff. But yeah, I do think that, with a little bit of a push behind him, Riddle could actually go quite far. But it all depends on how Vince sees him. Does he see him just as a comedy act, or does he want to tip in a little bit to that MMA side of Matt Riddle? It's just one of those really, really awkward things, isn't it, really? We also saw dissension in the ranks in the women's tag team champions. That's right. Nia Jax was taunted on stage by Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. They showed footage from last week of them slapping Nia across the face, beating her up. That was obviously in retaliation to Nia and Shayna watching the video of Mandy slipping at WrestleMania, which didn't happen because it's been taken off of Peacock. Don't ask why. Yeah, apparently it's been apparently that has been taken off of the WrestleMania feed from Peacock, as has the rain delay at the start of WrestleMania. So none of that happened, people. Mandy Rose did not slip. It's not been a part of this story whatsoever. And I guess WWE are just going to brush that under the carpet. Or Peacock, sorry, are just going to brush it under the carpet. Nothing happened there. But yeah, so what happened essentially in this match was that obviously Nia Jax, as I've mentioned, she was taunted by Mandy and Dana. She obviously then left the ring to go and chase them, leaving Shayna in the ring to take the loss against Naomi and Lana. Shayna obviously caught up with her backstage, told her she needs to get her head in the game. Now, I've been quite a fan of their tag team title run. I didn't think I was going to be at first. Obviously, Shayna being an absolute badass that she is, you'd think that WWE would want to push her more as a singles competitor, but they seem to be quite high on Nia Jax as well at the moment. They're giving her quite a bit of traction as well. But yeah, I think there's definitely an implosion coming. It's just when. Do they leave it for one of the bigger pay-per-views like a SummerSlam, or are they going to do it on, say, one of the lesser pay-per-views? And then it's, who do you put the tag titles on? if only there was an Australian tag team that they could have had to put the belts on. There we go. Yeah, we mentioned about that last week. So, yeah, we have, obviously, on the subject of women, Alexa Bliss issuing a chilling warning to the entire WWE women's division. So, you may have seen Alexa Bliss has her little doll with her now, which is called Lily. She showed pictures of her childhood, essentially. So, I think they must have been like real life pictures of Alexa Bliss when she was a child, and they've photoshopped Lily into these photos. She said that she's always been with her, and that essentially that Lily got rid of the Fiend, and she was insinuating that she would do the same thing to the women in WWE. But, you know, it's one of the really don't get this Alexa Bliss character at the moment. What are they actually trying to say? Because at first I thought it was the Fiend that was controlling her. But now it seems like she's the one who's controlling. It seems like she's controlling the Fiend and the wider like universe there, essentially. She was mentioned as well about when she was a child, pushing the child off a swing, breaking her arm, and yeah, I think part of me thinks that Nikki Cross maybe will become a part of this, but it's how do they introduce her into it? That's the big question: is what is going on then with this Alexa Bliss character? It's, you know, are they going to put a championship on her, or are they just happy with as she is pretty much? But I mean, you know, let me know your thoughts. You know, what do you guys think is going to happen with her? Because it's definitely baffled me. I mean, my brain is frazzled with everything like that. I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing. But, you know, I think this week Raw was kind of a little bit on the SmackDown scenario from last week. It was largely a forgettable episode. It did feel like it was one of those rushed episodes. You could tell that it wasn't as planned initially. You know, as I've mentioned already, this show was essentially ripped up and rewritten late in the day. And, you know, you can't be doing shows like that. You need to make sure that you've got this stuff nailed in advance. You should know what your main event's going to be. You should know what your opening match is going to be. You know, you just essentially reran a tag team match from last week. Did Vince probably forget that they did that match? That obviously the Viking Raiders and Shelton and Cedric. You know, Adnan Virk made obviously a bit of a mistake as well. Kept calling them the Viking Express, but you know, obviously Vince probably is like, yeah, that's probably what it is. But yeah, I think overall I wasn't that keen on this episode of Raw. I've always said that the 3 hours definitely hurts Raw. Now, I mean, you have a look at WrestleMania. So WrestleMania, the 2-night WrestleManias were 3 hours each. Now, granted, they're pay-per-views. They're not really going to do many like promo segments on there. But it does show this company can book a very, very good 3-hour show. Why not do it with Raw? We saw before WrestleMania how good SmackDown was. And don't forget, this is the same people writing Raw and SmackDown. So why is one show always considerably better than the other? But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we'll see what comes out of it next week. We'll obviously see what the fallout is from Charlotte. Is there going to be like some big mention of it? Are we going to see her maybe like coming out, holding Raw hostage, being like, oh yeah, I'm just going to unsuspend myself. Like, this is who my dad is, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, as I say, you know, I'm not obviously too sure on what's gonna happen there. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, let us know what you guys think down in the comment section. But if that's, I guess, everything from me for this episode, so don't forget to join me tomorrow when I will lay the SmackDown on NXT. Same time, same place, 5 p.m. British summertime over on this channel. And don't forget, you can follow all of us at Rebellious Noise on Twitter at RN Pro Wrestling. You can follow me at Dan_RebNoise. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel for more wrestling content. There is going to be loads of stuff hopefully coming up. You'll see these episodes 3 times a week. You're going to see them. You're going to see this one, you're going to see the NXT one, and you're going to see SmackDown. There's going to be, coming up in May, obviously, we've got WrestleMania Backlash. We've got the preview for that. We've got the review of that. There's plenty of wrestling content. So don't worry, guys. We are going to be here for you to keep you entertained. Take care. Bye for now. Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.